Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
I 24-year-old male had been dating Eden Rogers, 23-year-old female for about 3 months, and things were going great. She was fantastic, and I was finally meeting her whole extended family at their annual summer barbecue at a big community park. I wanted to make a good impression on her parents, Ernesto and Tamara Velez, and her older sister, Zena, 28-year-old female. The day started off well. I was charming, or so I thought, helped out with the grill and made decent conversation. At one point, Eden's mom, Tamara, mentioned Zena's unique struggle with choosing matching outfits because she was terrible with colors. Zena laughed it off, saying, "Yeah, I've always been a bit colorblind. Just means I ask Eden to approve my clothes before I leave the house." Now, I'm a bit of a science nerd, especially when it comes to genetics. I thought this was my moment to show off my intellectual side in a casual, relatable way. Ernesto, Eden's dad, was a big, booming man who loved talking about sports, and I figured a little scientific factoid might impress him with my diverse knowledge. So I piped up, "Oh, that's fascinating, Zena. Colorblindness is usually X-linked recessive, so it's much more common in men. For a woman like you to be colorblind, you actually have to inherit the gene from both your parents." I paused, looking around for nods of appreciation. "That means your biological father has to be colorblind himself, and your mother would at least be a carrier, or also colorblind." The words hung in the air like a poorly thrown frisbee. Ernesto, who had been laughing jovially just moments before, slowly put down his hot dog. His face went from sun-kissed to an ashen gray. Tamara, who had been chatting animatedly with an aunt, went completely silent, her eyes darting between Zena, Ernesto, and then me. Zena's easy smile vanished, replaced by a look of sheer horror and dawning realization. Her eyes, usually so vibrant, were wide with disbelief as she stared at her parents. It was like a switch flipped in my brain. My innocent genetics lesson, delivered with such confident enthusiasm, suddenly replayed in my head, and I saw the giant, glaring contradiction. Ernesto was very clearly not colorblind. He drove, he read, he pointed out team colors with gusto. He had never once mentioned any issues with color perception. I saw it on their faces, the devastating truth that had just been unceremoniously dumped onto their perfectly manicured lawn. Ernesto's voice was a low growl. "What did you just say, Rylan?" he asked, his eyes fixed on Tamara. Tamara stammered something about it being a rare case and don't be ridiculous, but her voice cracked with every word. Zena stood frozen, then her eyes welled up. "Dad, Mom, what is he talking about?" The barbecue, which moments ago was filled with laughter and sizzling meat, descended into a suffocating silence, broken only by a distant child's cry. Eden, my wonderful girlfriend, grabbed my arm, her face a mask of utter mortification. "Rylan," she hissed, "what have you done?" I tried to backtrack, to stammer an apology, to say I was just making an observation. But the cat, or rather the X-linked recessive gene, was well and truly out of the bag. Ernesto and Tamara started a hushed but incredibly intense argument, while Zena ran off in tears. Eden quickly shoved me towards my car, whispering about calling me later, which I knew meant don't call me ever. The last thing I saw before I made my ignominious exit was Ernesto, standing alone by the grill, looking utterly betrayed, the hot dog still forgotten in his hand. TLDR. I, an amateur geneticist, tried to impress my girlfriend's family by explaining how color blindness is inherited in women, inadvertently revealing that her dad couldn't possibly be her biological father, thereby blowing up a decades-old family secret at a barbecue.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.